Hello everyone, welcome back. Well, I don't know if you've heard this, but our lovely president, King Donald, I guess. Yeah, the leader of this regime has decided that he wants to figure out how to use the military. He has Pete Hegseth, that drunken moron who can't stay off of signal chats, and Pam Bondi, the Attorney General and Secretary of Defense. He wants them coordinating as to how we can use the military as civilian law enforcement. Now, I'm not trying to be an alarmist, and I'm not trying to be a fearmonger here. But if that doesn't terrify you, it sure as hell should. It sure as hell should. Remember in his first term, when Trump gassed the protesters to go hold the upside down Bible in front of a church across the street from the White House? A church that he has no connection to. He's never attended that church. Holding up a book that he's never read. But, people who like to twist that book. Yeah, they support him because, he allows for them to be hateful bigots who force their perversion of Christianity on the rest of us, right? Which, by the way, Christianity is a good thing. Being Christ-like, that's a good thing. If you're a hateful bigot, it's kind of hard to call yourself a Christian. But I digress. The regime, and make no mistake, this is a regime, wants to use the military for civilian law enforcement. Now, I understand somebody might throw the flag out there for too many Hitlers on the field. But this kind of stuff was done in Germany in the 1930s. That's how the little guy with the funny mustache was able to cause so much destruction. And the biggest war the world has ever known. So, we have a guy who, go ahead and throw the flag on the play if you want. But I'm not taking my time in the penalty box. And yes, I know that's a mixed sports metaphor. Whatever. I'm not going to the box on this one. Because he's talking about invading neighbors. Canada. Not Iceland, Greenland, excuse me. Canada invading neighbors. Shipping. This isn't something he's talking about. It's something he's actually doing. Is shipping the undesirables to a prison in El Salvador. Where was Auschwitz located? Not in Germany. It was in Poland. As were most of the camps. Most of them were outside of Germany. Especially the worst of the worst ones. Out of sight, out of mind. We can't see it, therefore it's not really happening, right? Well, support for a regime that has invaded another country You know, if the 1930s and 40s replay themselves, if it actually turns into that, you know who the Axis will be? No, it's not going to be Japan and Germany and Italy this time. It's going to be Russia, Israel, and the United States. That's going to be the Axis. Possibly North Korea as well, because, I don't know, they're relatively insignificant, though. And the Allies, it's not just going to be European countries and Canada. No. I'm convinced of this. I mean, there's going to be some allies from perhaps some places in the Middle East and Asia. Might bring South America into it. Australia will probably get involved. Yeah. Is this really something we want? You know, I think probably the only continent that wasn't really hit that hard with fighting back in the 40s, 30s and 40s, 39 through 45. The only continent that wasn't touched, I think, is South America. This time around, the only one that won't be touched would be Antarctica, and I'm not even convinced of that. So, again, I got off topic, right? But not really, because these are things that were done by that little guy with the funny mustache. The little guy from Austria that ruled over Germany, right? Now, I don't know from personal experience, but apparently YouTube doesn't like you to say the guy's name, and I already said it once. I mean, I'm not really monetized, so I guess I don't care. But, yeah. If you don't see the parallels between what's happening now and what happened 90 years ago, one of two things. One of three things. You slept through history class. You're sleeping right now. Or both. Or, I guess there's four options. Worse, you're okay with it. You're okay with it. And if that's the problem, if that's the case, if you're okay with it, you're the problem. Because that means you put this monster, and yes, I'm going to call him a monster, in the White House. And, as a veteran myself, I cannot even fathom opening fire on civilians. Can't even fathom that. I mean, civilian law enforcement does not need military backup. Civilian law enforcement is already militarized. And do they need some of that equipment? Maybe, I don't know. Do they need all of it? No. I mean, why do you need armored vehicles for your local police department? MRAPs. Yeah, great. Yeah, policing has gotten away from where it was supposed to be anyway. Now to have the military do the policing? That's not their job. And let's be honest, the military is good at exactly two things. That's it, two. Kill people, break things. That's it. Oh, sure, there's plenty of jobs in the military that are not destructive and don't involve killing people. But the whole mission is to support people who do. The whole mission is, if you're not killing people and breaking things, you are supporting people who do, if you're in the military. I mean, that's just the way it is. Right? Because that's the nature of the military. It's what they do. They fight our wars. Are we at war within the United States? Are we at war with our own citizens? I'll be damned if I'm going to sit back and just watch it happen. You know, I know I'm putting myself at risk, but I'll do that before I'll just sit back and allow it to happen. I've put my life on the line for this country before. I'll do it again. And like I said, I'm not trying to fearmonger. But if you're not afraid of this, if you're not afraid of our military being used as civilian law enforcement, wake up, because you should be afraid of that. You absolutely should be afraid of that. And by the way, for those of you who say that the Second Amendment is for us to fight off tyranny, what's your little AR-15 going to do when tanks come rolling down your street looking for you? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll see you next time.